Because when things got really bad, I went walking in the middle of the night, and I was waiting for the sunlight to come out. So this is when the sun came out, I went back home. So I started to not sleep, but then in the middle of it, I actually got engaged with spiritual warfare. And I know most people may not understand that. Some people do. Some people will not understand that. When that happened, I went completely nuts. Somebody who is a nurse practitioner, somebody who has been working in mental health, now was diagnosed with mental health. Like, anger is not good. Anger will increase your blood sugar.
But how do you control being...
Okay.
How do you control anger?
So you go back to the Bible.
What if these people don't read the Bible?
Well, I'll tell you what. Remember now, total health is a balance between spirit, mind, and body.
Hey good people, welcome back to Mizizi Lounge, the only channel, the only place where we handcraft our spices, which are gluten-free, preservative-free, low in sodium, absolutely no MSG, just for you. Today our special guest is Alice Munyua, and she's an amazing lady, full of knowledge. She's going to give us a ton of important information, but before I do that, if you're not a member of the team yet, you haven't joined our tribe, please do that. Welcome, Alice.
Thank you, Mercy. How are you?
Well. I'm good. Yourself?
I am great.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for inviting me.
You're very welcome. I know you're so busy. It's your day off. You needed to rest, but hey, it is an honor.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Please let us know a bit of yourself. I know most of the people watching don't know. Maybe people within Raleigh definitely know you, but other people out there, they don't know about you. So please let us know a bit of yourself and we take it from there.
Okay, before I tell you a little bit about myself, let me tell you how I met Mercy. We met at a pre-wedding party, and she came with her little bag of spices and chai. What do you call it? Masala tea or
chai
what?
Spice.
Chai spice. And I'm telling you, I just drank that one cup of tea, and I was like, I need to meet this lady. The tea was so good. I was so encouraged.
Thank you.
I was so happy, and ever since.
Thank you, Alice. It's so nice to hear that. That's been what, about 2 years ago or 3, I guess.
About 3 years ago.
Wow.
So your tea, actually, your spices, introduce you to people.
Now I go by the Spice Lady. New name, Spice Lady.
Yes. So if you've never tasted her tea, you ought to. It's the best. And today I just had the samosas. Ooh, and they're delicious.
Thank you.
So I have to make my order today.
Thank you, Alice. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So a little bit about me.
Sure.
I am a nurse practitioner. I've been in the medical industry. I started off actually as a nursing assistant. And I've been in the medical industry since 1988. Mercy, I know you were not born then.
Oh no, I was born. I was born, wow, since 1998.
1998,
awesome.
That's when I went into the medical industry. Started from way down there and just worked my way up.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I know you said you're a nurse practitioner. A lot of people will be watching this from either United States, out of here. So do you mind breaking that down? Because I'm sure some people don't even want to know, or they're confused. I see that in paper, somebody else see that in paper too, but maybe they really don't know much in detail what that means. Do you mind breaking that down, please?
Okay, so a nurse practitioner is a nurse who has a medical degree or a master's degree in nursing and medicine also. So a nurse practitioner can prescribe medication. They can do diagnosis. So we do it all. We are like mini doctors.
Wow.
But yeah, so
awesome. Good to know that, Alice. So where do you, this is more maybe personal, so where are you accepting new patients, that kind of a thing? Because I'm sure people will be asking, hey, I'm looking for a doctor, hey, I need some prescription, I need someone to talk to me on one-on-one basis, someone we can relate. Are you accepting new patients right now?
I am not, but I can tell you how you can get a hold of me, because I do more than that. I actually do counseling, and I do believe like I'm a trend setter in this area. I do counseling for people with chronic diseases, incurable diseases, and I can help you get healing, because our bodies are designed to heal themselves. And I don't know that there are many people who are doing that. And most of the time when somebody is sick, they go to the doctor. They tell the doctor what they're feeling. The doctor does the blood work. They do the diagnosis, and then they give you a diagnosis. And with that comes either other interventions. Is it physical therapy? Do we need surgery? Do we need medication? And everything is left there. For me, I go a little bit deeper than that. So we do all that. We do the diagnosis. We do the treatment where we are giving you either prescription drugs, or we recommend physical therapy, or we recommend surgery for whatever it is. I go a little bit deeper than that. I want to know what made you sick, and then I want to make you get healing. So it's not just treatment. I go for the healing.
The healing. And that eliminates medication in a way? Eventually
it will.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, depending on what you're going through. If it's, let's say, high blood pressure, I have an idea what causes high blood pressure. But now it's different for everybody. Somebody over here could have high blood pressure, but how they got the blood pressure is very different from somebody else who either they have a family history of high blood pressure, so they are dealing with inherited diseases. So stuff like that. If it's an inherited diseases, I have an idea what causes them.
Wow, and this is interesting. This is very interesting. I'm sure a lot of people will be reaching out, because I mean, not everybody is fan of popping the pills and taking every day. If you can walk me through in a way that I'm not going to be dependent on the medication,
that's right,
and get healed, I think that's the way to go for sure.
I think so too.
Wow. And I'm going to talk about the big COVID. It's been about what, 2 years, maybe almost 2 years. So what do you think, being in the health field, how is that on you people? I know it's not been an easy year. Is it escalating still? Because sometimes what you watch in news might not be true. I think you dealing with the clients directly might have a better outlook of that. So do you mind briefing us a bit on that?
Yes, and I haven't dealt with COVID per se, like some, because I don't work in the general hospital. I work for the state of North Carolina, but I work in a state mental health hospital. So mostly I'm dealing with mental health, although I'm on the medical side. But I have seen cases. I have seen it with my coworkers. I have seen it with my friends. But nobody I know has been seriously sick, except one lady who is a friend of mine, who spent like 40 days in ICU. So yeah, I mean, it's stressful. For most people, they are not getting that sick, other than that one person that I know.
That you know.
But now, when it comes to my colleagues, those who are working in the general hospital, they tell me that the situation is very bad.
It is. That's what I've heard. They're saying it's escalating. Some people are talking about maybe chances of another lockdown? I hope not.
I hope not.
I really, and when you go to the supermarkets, you can tell some shelves, I feel like things are going really quick. People are starting to stock up.
Yes.
So,
and you do need to stock up.
Okay, is that a red flag you're giving us?
Go ahead, stock up.
You know better.
Because the way the trend is going, it looks like there might be a food shortage. So it's better to have
at least.
Yeah. And for me, I usually I include spirituality into everything. Okay. So my spiritual path, I call myself a Christian, but really I'm a Bible believing Christian. Okay. So the Bible is my my spiritual education, or when I want to get into that. Every time in the history of the biblical people, every time there was a pandemic, because this is not the first time this world has gone through this. I mean, we had the Spanish flu, we've had other incidences of a disease like this that went global, affected so many people. But in the Bible times, they used to call it a pestilence. Okay. So a pestilence, a plague, a pandemic means the same thing. And it was always followed by famine, shortage of food. Always.
So that's how you relate this to. Makes sense. Makes sense for sure.
Yeah. So from that, I would say stock up on food, water.
I remember last year it was it last year? Yeah. This year it hasn't been that bad. You go to the store, there is limit on how much you can buy. Sometimes it's not even there. Yeah. I remember I was trying to make some flour for mandazi and all that. I go to the store, there's no flour. My suppliers were running low, and it wasn't the easiest time for business as well. Yeah. How did the pandemic affect your business? Because I know you're a business lady in a way. Was it tough? Did it work good for you? Because believe it or not, in as much as other people really suffered during the pandemic, some people told me it worked really awesome for them.
Some people, their businesses have done well, better than before. Other people, you know, they had not so... Yeah,
it was challenging.
It was challenging. Yeah. For me, it did not affect me in any way. I wouldn't say in a bad way.
Good. That's a good problem to have. And this lady right here, believe it or not, I was watching some of her videos, and you're a goal setter for sure. I was watching this video. She recorded it last year, and she was talking of your school kicking off this year, September. And guess what? It's September and the school is going to kick off. That's why I'm asking her any challenges, but apparently I think none. And you knew exactly, because it's over 1 year ago when you were talking and you're saying it's going to start this year. Okay. So do you mind telling us a bit about your school?
Yes, but let me tell you how the pandemic affected me in a good way. Cool. Okay, so I was supposed to go last year in April. I was supposed to go see my friend in Australia. And I had bought the ticket and everything. And then right when I was about to go, she said, I think maybe you better think about this. Don't come because they're closing down the airport. If you come, you might not be able to get out. That's when the whole world was locked down. So I said, okay. What am I going to do? I've already taken time off from work. What am I going to do? Well, I started working on 2 books. Wow. So, yeah, and I was done.
So that was a blessing in a way, too.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Awesome. Congratulations.
So that's what I did.
I don't know. I really don't know how you how long did that take you, Said?
Well, it took the whole year, really, because it was 2 books.
But 2 books, still. Some people have been working on, I've never even thought of. Wow. So did you ever envision yourself being a writer?
Well, that's a great question. When I was a little girl, I used to love to read novels. Nice. So I always imagined myself writing a book. But I thought I wanted to write 1 book. One. And I didn't know about what. I had thought maybe I should write about my life. You know, when I came to America, I said maybe I'll write about Alice coming to America.
You had amazing ideas. Somebody would learn from that. Someone who's planning to come here.
Then I was like, oh, who's going to read that?
You'll be surprised.
But then my opportunity came back in 1912. 2013 actually. After I came to America and I started having children and I settled down, I got into the life here and the lifestyle. And I gained a lot of weight. And for 15 years, I struggled to lose the weight. And nothing was working out.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
So why were you struggling to lose the weight? You know, sometimes, sometimes it's perceived as you're doing good and all that. So what was the driving force for you to lose weight?
Well, I never quite liked my figure.
Okay.
You know, after I gained weight, I always wanted to go back to the way I used to be.
You know, we never go back. And I mean, you're looking amazing. I didn't see you before, but... Yeah,
I used to be tall and skinny, and I liked it just like that.
You look good. You look great. Trust me.
Yeah. So, you know, after having 2 children, being a single parent, working hard, and I gained a lot of weight. Well, actually, when I had my second baby, I never lost the weight. I even gained more. And I was not happy about that. So I was doing like everybody else who tries to lose weight, you know, just following the trends, exercise, eat healthy. And I thought that was what was gonna get me to lose the weight, and I never lost it.
You didn't lose
and I actually kept gaining more, you know. So but now 2012, my kids had started they were becoming teenagers. They were able to drive. They could drive themselves to school. And I was able to get a little bit of sleep that I wasn't getting before. And believe it or not, it gave me so much peace. But then something else happened.
What happened?
End of 2012, I got fired from my job. It was, you know, looking in hindsight, that was not a good thing. But then I said, you know, I guess it's time to move on.
An opportunity.
I already had my nurse practitioner license, but I was working in mental health at the time. I don't know why. Don't ask me why I was doing that, but I can't, you know, if you follow my story, you will know that God wanted me to just be there. But I think I had overstayed my you know, I had learned everything I needed to learn.
You didn't want to leave your comfort zone. Sometimes you just feel
sometimes
comfortable.
You have to be
the shift is working well. You're like, why should I? You
know.
Need to make that move for sure.
So I got fired. The first time I ever got fired and it was like a stupid thing. So I said, you know, I need to be doing better than I am doing. But when I was trying to get my license back, my nurse practitioner license, I had all the time in the world. I could sleep, I could go to the supermarket and buy food and come home and cook. And then I joined a group of friends who were trying to lose weight. And within 5.5 months, I lost the weight.
Wow. So what did you do different, your friends and you, that you didn't do for the other months trying to lose the weight?
Well,
because you said the other time you tried alone, it wasn't working. What did you do right?
The funny thing is I had peace of mind at this point.
Okay.
And I wasn't rushing here and there, because if you are under stress, which is what most people puts people in trouble, and most people don't even know that stress can actually affect them, but it does. Stress just means it's the modern name for fear and worry. If you're worried, your body produces harmful chemicals, like cortisol. And cortisol tells your body that you're in danger, that it needs to hold on to the sugar, it needs to hold on to other bad chemicals, and then you feel hungry because your body is overworking. So when you feel hungry, then you eat when you're not hungry, and it just does a lot of bad stuff. So now, when I got fired, I was able to sleep. I could cook my meals. Nice. I had enough time to exercise.
Nice.
And funny enough, I should not have had a peace of mind, but I did. But also looking to the future, and when I started working towards my future, that gave me joy, and it gave me something to hope for. So the whole thing kind of worked together for good.
So it was a blessing in disguise.
Yes.
They all work together. So you're trying to tell us, in as much as we try working out, as long as you don't have the peace of mind, you're not settled. Does the food matter a lot?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
But it's only like a third of the equation.
So all these have to make a puzzle together. They have to work together.
Yeah, everything has to work together because a human being is not just a body. And this is what I love to tell people. A human being has a spirit, has a soul, and has a body. Now the soul is your mind, your will, and your emotions, and that's where we get in trouble. When you're not at peace, your body will not be at peace either. Yeah. When you don't have joy, your body will be, everything gets depressed with you. And it just does some really bad things.
Wow. We're learning, Alice. So, and you have a ton of books as well. Do you mind walking us through? So now, I told you I thought I was going to write one book. Now you have...
When I lost the weight.
1, 2, 3, how many are there? And you say you have two more coming. Wow. Congratulations.
Well, thank you.
Awesome.
So my first book, when I lost the weight, now I say, now I have something I can tell people. So everybody who is trying to lose weight, this is a really nice book. You can finish this book in 2 hours.
Let's do like Grandma did. Oh, wow.
Yeah. And a guide to clean, healthy eating. Because when I looked at everything I was doing when I was trying to lose weight, I realized this is how we used to eat in Kenya. It was nothing new. It was no big deal. But over here in America, they used to call it clean, healthy eating. And it was like, it was trending at the time.
Fancy name, right?
I know. I'm telling everybody I'm doing clean, healthy eating because I'm not going to the fast food restaurant.
Tell somebody back home, clean, that's what we do every day.
So I look back and I'm like, this is not new. We used to do this in Kenya.
You did.
So that's why I say, do like your grandma did, or do like my grandma did. Clean, healthy eating, just whole foods, just like you make your foods, you like to mix your own spices, you're not buying ready-made stuff that you don't know what they put in it. You like to do it organic stuff, those kind of things. So that's very healthy for the body.
And when it comes to food, when you buy at the supermarket, I've heard of the controversy. I just want to be sure if it really matters. Does it matter? Do you have to buy organic or just any other regular is okay?
Organic is really good.
Okay.
Because it means that it don't have too many, it hasn't been genetically modified.
Exactly.
That's a big thing. Yeah. And our food in Kenya was never, when I was growing up, I don't know about these days, it wasn't genetically modified. So that is very, very important. Yeah.
Okay. Good to know that.
So,
and many other books. I see there.
I'll tell you about my books.
Awesome.
Yeah. So then I went aloud telling people how easy it was to lose weight. I started inviting people to my house. Come, let me show you what I did. I would tell them, and out of 2 groups of people, over a period of 6 months, only one person lost 20 pounds. And I was like, something is wrong.
But that's something. You know how hard it is to lose weight. Gaining, we don't even realize we're gaining weight. But by the time you're working on losing,
but that's the trick. Because it's not as hard as people think it is.
Really?
Yes. So when I realized something was wrong, I started saying, and I'm talking to these people one-on-one. I started saying, these people know what to eat, but there is something wrong because either they are not doing it or they are doing it and they're not getting results. So what is it? So one night I was thinking, and I came up with this book. This book is called Think and Grow Healthier. Think and Grow Healthier, a balance between spirit, mind, and body. And that's when I figured it out. That's when I started talking to people about your mental health, because your mental health is involved in actually losing weight. It's involved in all these other chronic diseases like diabetes. Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
So it's all connected. It's not just the food.
No, it's not just the food.
That's one thing we need to remember. Most of the time you're like, I need to lose weight. Oh, I'm cutting the carbs. I'm cutting the fats. I'm cutting this and that. But it has to
everything has to be in balance. And this is why I started counseling people. because I need to know about what's going on in your life. What is bothering you? So if I find somebody who is suffering from, let's say, type 2 diabetes, I know for sure that is caused by inflammation, because I know the pathophysiology of the disease. The disease process is caused by inflammation. So I'm like, okay, inflammation is caused by your emotional health.
Wow. Wow. So you need to be emotionally fit.
Yes. So I ask people, what is bothering you? How is your life? How are you getting along with the people, you know, in your household, your relatives, your spouse, your children, all that. So, and then I was able, but now if you have an inherited disease, now I know that's coming from a different place. Yeah. And that's why spirit, mind, and body, everything has to be in balance.
Have to be balanced.
Yeah. But it's not difficult.
Wow, I need to try it with you.
Yeah.
I need to try. And you know how people perceive, and it's good you mentioned that, because sometimes you go to the doctor, they tell you you're on the borderline. And I remember there's a time I was talking to a group of friends, and I told them, my doctor told me I'm on the borderline for diabetics. They're like, you're not big. In my head, I'm like, I don't think I have to be big.
No, you don't.
You don't have to be big for that. So it really makes sense how.
Yeah.
So do you mind talking a bit about diabetes?
Yes.
So that's
that's my favorite subject.
Awesome.
So if you are pre-diabetic, you can stop this train.
Okay.
Yeah, you can actually reverse the course.
Okay.
There is inflammation going on. Most people, the word inflammation comes from flame. Yeah, so there's a fire burning. Now, when you think about inflammation, there's a fire burning within.
Inside.
So, yeah. So when I sit down with someone, I want to know where is the fire coming from, and what is giving it fuel. And this is where I come to the state mental health, your joy, your peace. Are you able to sleep? And now, when we go into sleep is like the simplest question I can ask. And I remember one time I was talking to this lady in Kenya. At the time I was still trying to figure this thing out. I knew it was inflammation, and I knew that somehow it was connected to sleep. Somehow. Not everybody has.
It affects your sleep.
Well, it's complicated. If you're not able to sleep because of other things, it will mess up your sugar. And with her sugar was very high. Her hemoglobin A1C, which is the measurement that we use to measure how your sugar is doing over a period of time, like 3-month period of time, it was very high. She's eating healthy, she's trying, she's checking her sugar, she's doing insulin, and the sugar was still climbing up. So I go and I sit with her for 1.5 hours, and I was like, well, I don't know what's making your sugar so bad. And then, as an afterthought, I asked her about her sleep, and she told me, well, sometimes I just go to bed and I stay there the whole night. I don't fall asleep. And I was like, uh-oh, we got a problem. I was like, well, so what is wrong? Why can't you sleep? She says, well, I say, you're thinking too much. What are you thinking about? And she was like, well, you know, if you can't sleep, obviously you have to think. I say, no, it's the other way around. Your thinking is preventing you from sleep. And it so happens that her children were the ones that were bothering her. Misusing her adult children, misusing her stuff, her property, her money. And this was bothering her so much, she did not have peace of mind. And she will go to bed and not fall asleep. And in the meantime, her sugar is just going up. So I say, she told me that she used to get so angry that every time they did something, she would get so angry she used to shake with anger. And I was like, anger is not good. Anger will increase your blood sugar.
But how do you control being...
Okay.
How do you control anger?
So you go back to the Bible.
What if these people don't read the Bible?
Well, I'll tell you what. Remember now, total health is a balance between spirit, mind, and body. And actually, this is where I can introduce my school. My school is called Total Health. You have to have everything has to be in balance. Your spirit, your mind has to be in balance. You gotta know what you're doing. You gotta have a spiritual path. And whether I love the Bible because it really works. Everything in the Bible works, and it's there for a reason. The Bible says, "Do not go to sleep angry." There's a reason why God said that. He says, whatever is making you angry, you have to settle it before you go to sleep. Because he knew if you go to sleep angry, it's gonna anger poisons the blood. It makes your blood boil, and your sugar will be up.
Wow.
Yeah, because when you're angry, your body senses danger. It just feels danger, and it produces too much cortisol. And cortisol goes and tells your liver there is danger. You need to remove all the sugar that you've been storing, because your liver can store sugar. So you can use that sugar when you're not eating. So this is why when we fast, or if we skip a meal, you shouldn't skip a meal without a doctor's permission if you don't do fasting.
The way we've been dieting here. I'm not eating this, I'm not eating that. Okay.
Yeah, but fasting is really healthy for you.
So it's
when somebody is fasting, the reason why their blood sugar doesn't plummet is because the liver has storage. The liver stores enough sugar to last you like 24 hours. But now when you're sensing danger, when your body feels angry, you're like you've been violated. You either need energy to fight or do something. But this energy, you're not fighting with a tiger. You know, it'll be one thing if you're in the forest trying to fight with a lion or a tiger. It's people who are upsetting you.
So you recommend fasting as a way of losing weight as well, or no?
I do.
Okay.
I do. But fasting is done for spiritual purposes, but the side effect of fasting is losing weight, and it works beautifully.
Because I know a lot of people doing intermittent fasting.
Yeah,
okay,
it's
that's
healthy.
why I was
it's
curious.
a healthy thing to do.
Okay.
Yeah, and most major religions actually advocate that. So it's good. But if you've never fasted, if you have diabetes where you have to use insulin, be very, very careful about fasting. If you're taking medication that you need to take with food, always make sure you check with your doctor first before you do any of that. But if you talk to me, I can be able to counsel someone about that.
You know, we coming. So when does the school officially open, or when are you launching it?
It is actually officially open right now for one-on-one counseling.
Oh, nice.
But I'll start taping lessons this month, September. Today is September 1st. So before the end of September, the school will be running.
So will it be virtual or?
It'll be, it'll be online. You can go in there, and I plan to record like different diseases. So somebody can go there. If they have lupus, they just get information on lupus. Now lupus is autoimmune. So this is where you're being attacked by friendly fire, because it's your body that is fighting you. Your body is at war with itself. So that's a little bit different. It comes from a different place, but you know, the root cause is different.
So will it be subscription based, or how is it going to work in terms of payment? You know, some people might want to enroll in all the classes because everything is interesting. You talk of lupus, you talk of diabetics, you talk of high blood pressure.
Yeah.
We all want everything. So I know with subscription, maybe it might help. Or so is there subscription?
I'm still trying to figure that out. Yeah.
Okay.
But I have a YouTube channel, and I'm sure I'll be posting something. Once it's open, I'll be posting something on my YouTube, and I'm also on Facebook. Yeah.
Nice. And that's really nice of you, because I was just watching some of your video when you say some people will be paying, some people will be based on, I don't know if it's income or whatever, you might be able to offer free services. That's really nice of you to give back, because you know, some people think when you're giving back it has to be financial. No, it doesn't have to be financial. That's just act of kindness, helping someone to be able to know this is where your sugar lies, this is where your pressure lies. I feel like you really did good on that. Keep up. Yeah, I watched that. I'm like, this is really thoughtful of you.
I don't want somebody to not call me because they don't have money. Call me. I'll answer you back.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
But now,
and for the books, you know, we're all listening. People are like, oh, I need that. I need this other one. Okay. So where do we find you?
Oh, okay. So my books are on Amazon.
Okay.
You can also inbox me on Facebook. You can my phone number. I can give you my phone number.
Awesome.
You can text me.
Nice.
And I'll be able to get you a book.
Oh, so you don't have to get it on Amazon, right?
You can get it from me if you like.
Okay.
But if you want to go on Amazon, if you're out of the country and you want to go on Kindle, Amazon Kindle.
Too. Nice.
Yeah.
Wow, you had that, people? Go for it. We need to read this book.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when I was working on this book, Think and Grow Healthier, I kind of figured out something. I figured our textbook usually use the mind and the brain as the same thing. And I was like, uh-oh, this is a problem. So when I figured that out, I actually, I don't know how to say it, but it bothered me so much, I was not sleeping. Because I wondered, how am I going to tell people? Now look at me. I'm the one who is counseling people and telling them that their blood sugar will be off if they don't sleep. And now I'm faced with this problem. How am I going to tell people this? And I'm like, the mind and the brain are two different things. So I started to not sleep. But then in the middle of it, I actually got engaged with spiritual warfare. And I know most people may not understand that. Some people do. Yeah. Some people will not understand that. When that happened, I went completely nuts. Somebody who is a nurse practitioner, somebody who has been working in mental health, now was diagnosed with mental health.
You know, we all forget you're human too. We look at you, we expect you to be perfect. How was that?
That was interesting.
How long ago was that?
That was back in 2017, actually June of 2017. So I got sent to the hospital completely mentally not stable, but I knew what was going on. I was not, like, I wasn't out of my mind. The only thing is, if you ask me what was going on, I did not have the words to tell you what was going on with me. And people thought I was acting a little bizarre.
Oh, so people could tell. You didn't.
Oh, yeah,
you didn't realize.
I knew I was acting bizarre. And I knew why, but I didn't have the language to tell them. Like, look, this is what I'm experiencing. This is what's going on. I did not. And plus, I had never experienced that in my life. I have never, ever been engaged in spiritual warfare. And I didn't know what to tell people. This was new for me. It was new for my children. But, well, some people got concerned. And they called the police on me.
Oh, wow.
And I got escorted to a mental health facility. And for evaluation of mental illness. So the whole time I was there, well, first of all, when I got taken there, now remember I had been a nurse working in mental health since 2001, and this is 2017. Some of the patients in the institution were my former patients, and they knew me.
Wow.
And they see me there, and they're like, "Oh, I'm so glad you're here."
Oh, you made me laugh on that. Wow. So how long were you there for?
I was there for 9 days.
Oh, okay.
9 days, yeah.
Okay.
But before when I got there, since I knew what was going on, all I needed was a notebook. And I came out of the hospital with this book. That is the diagnosis that I got, bipolar. But that is actually not what was going on. But I guess from somebody who didn't know what was going on with me, I looked like I was manic. And they decided to use that diagnosis. So within 2 months, I had cleared up, everything was good, and I was able to go back to work. But now, this book, I kind of summarized. Once I went through that, I was able to understand mental illness in a big, big way. Okay. And I think there is a reason for everything.
Very true. See all these books, you got fired, you didn't fall on your back and just stay there. You woke up. You got up and were able to publish all these books. Yeah. You didn't get to travel and see, you were able to publish books. Now you go to the hospital and you publish more books again. That's really nice. Yeah. So how do you balance your time? Because you're busy, definitely. Your field is really busy. When do you get the time for other books to just spare that time and come up with a story, put it together? generate a book. And also, I know there's many writers watching right now. People are like, I want to be a writer. Look at all those books. It took her how many years? 2 years or so. I want to write too. So do you mentor people who are upcoming writers? And,
No.
No,
I don't.
Okay.
I don't mentor people because mentoring takes time. And I don't think that's my calling in life. My calling is actually to tell people to get to the root cause of what's ailing them, disease-wise. But I think better when I write. So I always, like when I think about a disease, say like I just wrote depression. Say just a book on depression alone. I have an idea what I want to tell people. So I just jot down my thoughts and I do that. And I can put a book together and then have somebody edit it for me and the book is done. And I also think about what the cover will be, what I want people to see on the cover. Like with depression, I have a picture of the brain. And remember, I say there's a difference between the brain and the mind. Normally depression is a disease of the mind. But because there's no way to picture the mind on a book, I just use the brain. So the reason why I don't mentor people is like it takes a lot of work to do that. And there are people out there who are really good at doing that. So I refer people to
so you leave that to them.
So if somebody calls me, they want to write a book, I have someone I can refer you to. I actually have 2 people I can refer you who are very, very good at doing that, depending on what kind of book you want to write.
Networking, right?
Yeah.
So how did you feel being misdiagnosed? I know that's really big for you, especially being in that field. When I look back, at the time I was very upset.
I was so angry with that diagnosis. Well, of course I did not receive it because I knew that's not what was going on. And with this book, I just summarized all the mental illness into 10 problems of the mind. But then when I came out, people didn't want to, like, if you're really not a medical provider or somebody like a social worker, you may not be interested with all the information that I have here. But if you are, this will be good. Or if you do counseling. So I took my story out. I say, look, because my story runs through this book. Because I'm giving examples with my story.
Pictures you put.
Yeah.
Like in every book, it really connects.
Yeah. There's a reason why I did that. This is sunrise. Because when things got really bad, I went walking in the middle of the night. And I was waiting for the sunlight to come out. So this is when the sun came out, I went back home. So I went back to where I was walking. I actually took this picture from where I was walking. I took this picture myself. And I wanted it to be on the cover of this book with the diagnosis they gave me. But then when I realized my story is very interesting. You will laugh. It's not scary at all. There's some things that are, and it has a lot of nuggets. So I just put my story in this book. If you just want to read my story, you don't want to hear about anything else, this book, I'm not giving any advice, just my story. So
The Hidden World.
It's called The Hidden World, A Chance Encounter. So this is what started my ministry now, my school on total health. Because when I got that diagnosis, you just asked me how did it make me feel. At first I was upset. But then I realized that everything happens for a reason. God wanted me to go through that so I can learn some things. Now, when I see people who have mental illness, I can figure out very quickly how they got there, depending on their lifestyle, what has happened to them, how they worship, because that's another area that people don't think can give you mental illness, but it does.
Interesting. Very interesting. So hold up, because I just have a question. Because you're talking of spirituality. So what if someone is not a Christian in this case, and you're trying to quote the Bible, or they don't believe in Christ? How do you deal with that?
Okay, I still deal with it because I also educated myself on what other people believe.
Okay.
And I can, even if you're not a Christian, you don't believe there's a God, people believe in something. Even somebody comes and tells you, I don't believe there's God. Well, you have to believe in something because that's the only way you can get a reference of life. You have to see, human beings by themselves are incomplete. and they look for a higher power to complete them. So I want to know, how do you worship? What do you believe in? You can tell me, okay, I worship spirits. now I know how to talk with you from that perspective, because I made myself learn what other people believe in, and so I can be of help. Now, when it comes to mental health, and this is why we have such a big problem, there are some things we're not going to be able to fix if we don't understand how this whole thing works. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. This is deep.
It is deep.
It is deep. So you talked of mental health. So you know how some people still look at it as a stigma. How do you help your patients, or how do you help people in our community to just come clean, talk about it freely?
Okay. Yeah. I love to tell my story. You know, when people ask me, they're like, when I tell them that I was in the hospital with my former patients, they're like, oh my gosh, did they know you? I'm like, yes, they did. And they
were happy to see you.
They were happy to see me. They ate my food. Like, if I didn't want something, they're like, oh, can I have that? So we were like peers. And actually, I learned so much in that 9 days than I ever learned in school. They were able to tell me stuff they would never have told me if I was just a nurse or a nurse practitioner coming to them. But now, because I was a peer to them, they told me stuff that when I got out, I was just on the go researching. So now I'm able to help people. And with me, there is no stigma. This is a story I love to tell. I love to tell them how I saw everything, because I was actually hearing voices. It was bad. I was hearing voices. I was hallucinating. So if you ask me how that feels, or how one responds, or what's going on, I can tell you all about it. And when I tell my story, I feel people let their guard down. So then it's not a stigma anymore. And I don't want it to be a stigma.
No, it's not. But unfortunately, some people look at it as a stigma. They don't want to associate about it. They don't want to talk about it. But I feel like maybe by someone reading that book, it might bring the light to them and just be open and take it easy. Look at the future, not now.
And actually, looking at the future is so great, because if this mental illness did not happen to me, we probably wouldn't be having this conversation.
Exactly. We won't have all these books, all the knowledge.
This is what pushed me into my calling in life. And I would tell anybody who is dealing with something, a challenge, embrace it, don't hide it, seek information, but seek information from somebody who knows. Like me, I'm not afraid to talk about mental illness. I understand it. And maybe you might go on to help other people. So
do you plan on continuing to be a nurse practitioner, or this is the new baby, new line? What is it called? You're switching the lanes.
Okay. Well, I'm never gonna switch lanes. You know, once a nurse, always a nurse. But I do believe a time comes when you stop. Like when I retire, I'm not gonna retire. This is what I'm gonna do.
She told me her age. Unbelievable. So are you going to, talking of retire, are you going to extend your retirement time, or you will just...
When I retire, then I'll continue doing this. This I will do until I leave this world.
It's a calling, and that's the thing with a calling. I feel like when it's a calling, you don't even struggle.
No, it's
sometimes
actually
you're in your sleep and the idea just comes to you. You're like, I need to try that. I need to do this. I need to focus on that. And that's a really good thing.
It's a good thing.
It is.
It's a good thing. You get new ideas every single day. You learn something new every single day. So,
okay. I can't wait for this school. I can't wait to attend one. I'll definitely check for the information, and I might be enrolling to one. I know other people out there as well. So all that will be on your YouTube channel information? Okay.
Can I mention my last 2 books?
Sure.
This one is on racism, because believe it, racism, people look at racism as if it's a black and white thing. But I look at everything. Ever since my mental health thing, everything shifted. So I always look at things from a spiritual perspective. This book is wonderful. And if you read it, racism will never bother you again. It will never be an issue again.
Racism. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. And I love the size of your books. They're not too big.
They're not too big.
That can really encourage someone to read.
And they also have a lot of hope, give you good ideas, stuff you can use. Yeah. My last book, this one I just got it last week.
And
End stage renal disease. You know, people who are or have chronic kidney disease, people who are on dialysis. Believe it or not, and I know most people don't tell you that your kidneys can heal. Yeah. Yeah.
And that goes back to mental health.
Yeah, but there's a little bit more.
Okay.
but that a little bit more is all in the book.
Okay.
This book you can finish it in one day.
So you need to read that book to get the information.
Yeah.
That's good to know there's hope. You know how someone you get diagnosed and you just lose hope. You think everything is, your world is just shattering, but it's good to know there's more to that.
Yeah. There is more. You can be healed from mental illness. You can be healed from kidney disease. You can be healed from type 2 diabetes, even type 1 diabetes. Yeah, even though type 1 is also autoimmune.
And there's a book there that talks, do it like grandma. That's what.
Yeah, that's on food.
Okay.
Since everybody thinks everything is caused by food, this is a small book. You can finish this in 2 hours. Food is not the only thing. There are other things, but clean, healthy eating, we all have to do like grandma did. And if they come to you, I'm sure you're gonna supply them with all the good foods, healthy foods.
We try. Thank you, Alice. Yeah, it was really a nice time. I know the information. I feel like we all need to go to these books and just take a look. And people can buy. Let me see. I'm just trying to look at the price. Yeah, I was just trying to look at the prices because people can buy as a group and share. That's what I'm thinking, because you buy a book, if I store all this in my shelf, but I feel like if we buy as a group and just keep changing, do like a book group and all that. Anyone out there, I'm in book group. Let's do it.
I actually have some churches that have bought them and they do them for Bible study.
Awesome. Nice. So how's the marketing part as a business person? Is it been challenging for you? I know trying to get yourself out there, and you know, I was watching one of your videos. I saw you on Facebook talking about you're doing some changes on one of your books. And that just showed me how much you care about your clients, because it's about how everything looks. You said it's cosmetic, something you're trying to change, but the book is still readable. So why to you that was important to do, even though the books could still be read, but you still took the initiative to go and take care of that?
I want the book to look good. I want the information to be set up just in the way that I want it, and I want it to be easier for the people to read. Okay. That's nice. As a business person, that's a hint. Always make sure everything is customer based. It favors your customer. She really took the initiative to go the extra mile, incur more expenses just to satisfy your customers. And which book was that? This was the kidney book.
Oh, the kidney one. Okay, so that's all set, right?
It's all set now. It's good to go.
Wow. Alice, thank you. You're doing a good job.
Thank you.
So when are you planning to do like a Zoom or something coming up, a meeting when you first launch, or you just want to do sessions, individual sessions all at once? For most part,
individual sessions have been working out, because some of these things are very, very deep, and some people don't want their information out there, you know, and when you call me, I can keep things confidential. It's just me and you talking, and other people don't have to know about it, because I mean, like I said, I go really deep. I go all the way to your soul. What's going on in your soul? We're gonna talk about that. I don't do hypnosis. It's just talk therapy, but you know, talk therapy. But some people, they open up when they know that they need to, and they feel secure, and they know that they're gonna get the help that they need. And wow, thank you, Alice. So everyone out there who's watching, I know it was a very nice and short session, very informative. So if you have any question, we all know Alice, our nurse practitioner, in a nutshell, told us it's all with the mind, soul, body, everything. In everything we're trying to do, everything, a lot of things have to align together. So if you have any question, please reach out to her. No stereotyping. If you have a mental issue, please just
bear with it, take it easy. Look at Alice. She was admitted. She had fun with her clients. They were happy to see her. Then look at her. She came out with a ton of information.
Yeah.
As they say, when the world kicks you down, make sure you land with your back. That way you're still looking up and you can get up.
Wow.
That's what she did. And we have a ton of books here. So, hey, again, thank you for your time, Alice. Looking forward for many more sessions, because I know you might have to break this down. You might just say, this is all diabetics. This is bipolar day.
Yeah.
This is this and that.
Yeah.
And again, thank you.
You're welcome.
You took all the effort, your time, day off to come join us. We really appreciate that. And I'll let her tell you where to find her, all her handles, then we can sum this up. So let them know where you are, where they can order the books again. One more time, just remind them, please.
So I don't keep things very complicated. I'm on Facebook. Befriend me, send me a text message.
What's your name on Facebook?
Alice Munyua. I do have a YouTube channel, and I also check messages over there too. Alice Munyua, FNP-C. And also my phone number.
Okay.
I keep things very, very simple.
That's the way to go.
919-593-3812. I'm on WhatsApp. If you're in Kenya, just add a +1 919-593-3812.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So people, you had that from the horse's mouth. And for Mizizi Lounge, if you're not part of the tribe yet, hey, join us. Mizizi Lounge, that's on YouTube. On Instagram, Mizizi Lounge as well. And on Facebook is @Mizizi Spices. Check us out if you have any question about spices. You want any recipe on cooking, we can do a one-on-one. We specialize on Zoom one-on-one. We can do that together. Again, we go with your pace. And for me, it's about how at the end of the day you'll be able to use our products. I don't want you to buy spices and store it in your cabinet. I want you to use it. Instead of taking turmeric pill, I always say our curry powder, some of our spices, most of our spices actually, we use whole grain spices. We ground them. Everything is handcrafted by us from scratch. So instead of turmeric pill, we have turmeric in most of our stuff. So you're gaining that. Instead of cinnamon pill or any other thing. When you look, I always say, be sure to understand what ingredients you're taking. We make it simple. It's things you know, things you already can spell, pronounce. We don't hide much of information. Most of what we put in our products is really simple, things you already know. So if you have any question, all is available. My number is 508-572-4156. If you want to send us an email, that's sales@mizizifoods.com. And until next time, thank you for joining us. Mizizi Foods, Mizizi Lounge. You take care of your good selves. Bye.
Wow. Bye.